you do when you have no instructions on the nature of your defense? You're representing a defendant and the defendant doesn't tell you what their defense is. Well, that's exactly what happened to me. I once represented two defendants who were charged with a robbery. It was a street robbery that took place at night. As I said, they were jointly charged, and so I was able to represent both of them. There was no conflict of interest. When I met them in conference before trial, I asked them, what is your defense? Well, I didn't put it that way, but generally I was trying to extract their defense from them. I got nothing back. Silence. So I summarized the witness statements and I asked them to respond to what was alleged in the witness statements. Again, no response. Eventually, the defendant said to me, we are going to be found not guilty. And I said, well, how is that possible when you don't even appear to have a defense? And they said, well, because we practice voodoo. And we are going to make sure that the jury finds us not guilty. You can imagine the advice that I gave those two defendants. They didn't like the advice I gave them, and so they sacked me. But if they hadn't have sacked me, what would my ethical position be? Well, I think I'd be entitled to walk away. If they're not giving me instructions, I feel as though I would have had to walk away. Alternatively, if I had decided that ethically I could continue to represent the two defendants, then the only thing I could have done in terms of cross-examining witnesses would have been to test the prosecution case. The prosecution bring the case, and therefore the prosecution have to prove the case to a high standard so that the jury is sure of the accused's guilt. And so when cross-examining the witnesses, I would have been able to question the witnesses, the eyewitnesses, on the lighting conditions when they observed the robbery taking place. Any obstacles or obstructions between where they were positioned and where the robbery took place. The distance between where they were positioned and where the robbery took place, all of those kinds of things. Because I didn't have a case to put to the witness, a defense case, that's all I could do. All I could do would have been to test the reliability of the prosecution case. Well, as I said, it didn't get that far. I was sacked, and I heard that they instructed another barrister who represented them at court. And guess what? They were convicted.